Hi there, it's Kevin from Stratford Publishing for you again. Today we thought we'd just bring you 5 really good Christmas ideas for 2021, all ready for the modern traction enthusiast. These are some of the latest ones from ourselves and bestsellers from the year. Starting off first of all, the good old days. It's in our recognised format now of landscape format, 96 pages, colour throughout. Okay, the good old days. Compilation of Ken Gamble's very best photographs. Ken was a very active photographer throughout the country during the late 1970s, early 1980s. As you can see, we've laid the book out, starting with freight traffic. Ken's style of photography really looks upon not just three-quarter portrait shots, but also we're looking at the wider scene. For example, we've titled one here, Old Buffers, quite simply because you can see very simply on this that's been the theme. Moving on, we're looking into things such as, we titled one Fossil Fuels, quite obvious to see why here. Again, oil train, coal trains, all being depicted within that chapter. If I'm fast forwarding through, again, it's trying to actually compile photographs of far greater interest over the three-quarter standard view. As you can see here, there's a lot more to see in the pictures. Ken's been a great exponent of this, and this book really does go a long way towards showcasing his work. Crossing the line, another feature we've done, trying to look at lots of different shots centered quite simply around crossing the line. Scenes that we just can't go back and redo, for example here at Barnsley. All the locomotive types that we would have been familiar with back in the 1970s, 1980s are to be found inside, and we couldn't go past a conclusion at the end of looking at different Deltic shots. 22.95, 96 pages, the good old days. Another great idea for Christmas for you, perhaps for this year, 2021, last year's of the Class 50s. We'll start our journey. Really, all of the photographs in this have been superbly enhanced from the collection of the late Barry Rennick. He was out and about right through this period, photographing around the country in all weathers and conditions, with some fantastic material covering all of the Class 50s. And as we go through year by year, I'm flicking through this at quite a pace. As you can see, we're into 1984 now, along the sea wall near Teignmouth, where we hear Torquay by the looks of things. X-Works at Doncaster. Great standard of colour photography, beautiful vibrant colours. As I say, he was out in all conditions, but those that we've selected are beautifully exposed. And again, what we've endeavoured to do is to bring you all of the different livery styles, lots of workings, as you can see here. They're all going to be here for you. Again, each one fully described, until finally we finish up towards the back end of the book with those last few specials before the locomotives were finally retired in 1994. Again in the same format, 96 pages, landscape throughout, beautifully presented, 22.95. Same sort of vein, we all like Deltics, you know, really, we do miss them. This volume, last year's of the Deltics, really picks up on every one of the 22 locomotives, one by one. In this we're going to look at each and every one of the Deltics during the last 3 or 4 years of active service. Combination of lots of night shots, work, rest and play, detail views. These are all previously unpublished and right around the country, including many shots of them at work on specials. Each of these wonderful photographs is fully captioned. It's the kind of thing that really is going to be quite special for all those of us who loved and enjoyed the Deltics. And we conclude this particular presentation of last year's of the Deltics really by looking at those last couple of months. Specials at work all around the country. They were all fully booked, of course, and we got to conclude towards the back of the book. You'll see, if I can just find the right pages for you. Here we go, there's last couple of specials, and here we go, the last final day. What a trip that was. As you can see here, depicting the final and grim end for far too many of the Deltics. Thankfully, a few have survived. 96 pages, $22.95. Another first-class recommendation. If you're looking for something slightly more economical, in softback format, but again, great value, colour throughout, the Diesel Days series. We're going to take a look at Diesel Dawn volumes 2 and 3, which deal with the Western Region warships. First of all, with Diesel Dawn number 2, which deals with the Swindon built members of the class. We've got text throughout. It's a mixture of colour and black and white, but in the main it's colour. We'll take a look at each and every member of, in this particular case, the Swindon built class 42 warships. They're all covered individually, one by one, looking at their names, details with regards to when they were withdrawn from traffic, when they entered traffic, allocation histories and so forth. Moving on very briefly, here we've got volume number 3, which deals with the North British built locomotives, including of course the A1A very early warships. Once again, it's a similar style of coverage, mixture of colour and black and white, but predominantly colour. And again, we look at each and every locomotive within each of the types with full detail of their history, lots of colour photography, most of which has not been published previously. And again, as you see here, we're dealing with, what have we got, 847 Strongbow in different livery combinations, moving through. As you can see, we're just going through the lines, and finally we'll finish on this particular one, $12.99 a go. All of these are available on our website right now. You can find links to these in the descriptions box below. We'll see you again soon at Strathwood Publishing. Bye for now.